Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Okay, we're back. Aren't we?
Back.
We're back.
Yeah, we're always back.
I got your back, you got my back. But
First Saturday in May.
we're getting ready to have a special guest in the studio.
Open mic Saturday.
He's slipping in here right now. That number is 274-7979, 274-7979. For you early riser, we're going to give away that Avery gift card right now. 274-7979.
Let's see if anybody's awake out there.
274-7979. We'll light them up. Let's give them, here they come. They're rolling in here right now. So that $25 Avery gift card. We're still trying to hook up. That's the way it operates in radio land, particularly on Open Mic Saturday. Ian Davies from the Cornell Lab of Ornithology.
Hey, very good.
I want to
You get
that
extra
in.
credit for that.
Because Global Big Day takes place on May the 13th. Yay! Frank Barton is in the studio. Frank, you'll have to get the high chair. You're up early, Frank. Good morning, Frank. You guys move that microphone. Share that microphone over there. And he's got a headphone set too, doesn't he? Or is that yours? Huh? Well, we can just talk to Frank. Yeah, we're going to talk to Frank.
He can hear you over the headset.
Yeah. We want to hear from Frank anyway because are we making any announcement today?
No, we're still closed.
Oh, come on, Frank.
I stopped in here on my way over there to do some more work. I'm just waiting.
Sit down, Frank.
Just waiting on the Tennessee Motor Vehicle Commission to decide they like me. That's the only thing I can say.
When I got the text from Frank last night saying, he could be by here this morning, and I said, "Oh, this is announcement time. This is."
I would have told you that.
No, you wouldn't have. You would have kept me in suspense. All right, the new store for Barton Power Sports will be located on Mount Moriah.
5715 Mount Moriah.
Okay, 5715 Mount Moriah, and it's not ready yet.
It's real close.
Okay, so
it's real close.
Frank is more than real close to this. I mean, give us an idea. I mean, what do you think, Frank, prediction-wise?
It'll be this month.
This month. That's May.
Yeah.
All right, so we're starting out in May. In this store, y'all,
in the next 25 days.
In the next 25 days?
Today's May the 6th. Got 31 days in May.
Let's don't stretch it out as much as we can. Frank needs this for his health and for his the mileage and everything. But the other stores in Forest City, West Memphis, Jonesboro, and now in Memphis. And this store will be what? It'll have Polaris.
Well, we're going to in Memphis. We're going to do Polaris off-road products. The popular,
strictly Polaris. I mean,
the popular Slingshot.
The Slingshot,
and Indian motorcycles, which will be the new line for us.
But Indian motorcycles are not new.
Well, they are for us. They've been around since 1901, but they are for us.
I remember when they first started. Yeah, they were.
You probably had an Indian.
Yeah, I did. Me and Sitting Bull, the Indian was riding on it. That's what. That's amazing, folks. 1901. We think of other motorcycle brands, but if you go back and watch any old movie, and I've done this, I like a lot of 30s. I like a lot of movies in the 30s. But I have seen in a couple of Charlie Chan movies, Indian motorcycle.
And the one with the big fenders. That's how you can tell them apart.
Well, I've never thought about that.
Gene's right.
Yeah.
They are. They got very distinctive styling.
You amaze me, Gene Smith. I mean, with the knowledge. I think it's because you got a haircut. You really look nice today, Gene. I'm impressed with you.
Brother Darrell's head's chock so full of useless trivia, it's frightening.
Useless trivia.
Yeah.
But,
I just knew, though, you wanted to talk about what's going on with Arkansas Game and Fish and the Arkansas Wildlife Management areas for duck season next year.
Yes, I want to talk about that because it's going to be a little bit more pricey.
Well, it depends if it happens or not. Right now, they're still in their comment period.
So explain it to our listeners out there, Frank, being from East Arkansas, and explain to them what's the.
Well, within the commission, there's been limiting the number of days that non-residents can hunt on the various wildlife management areas that we have in the state. Duck hunting is what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
Duck hunting.
Okay.
Right now, you can buy a 5-day permit for $25, or you can get a season permit for $100. The season permit allows you to hunt on any of the WMAs in the state. And within the commission now, there's some conversation that these non-resident permit holders, which they've determined were 8,225 last season. 8,225 permit holders.
Yes.
Are putting too much pressure and creating
the locals,
creating more competition and keeping locals from being able, the resident hunters from being able to participate on the WMA. So they have proposals out there that they're in the comment period on. I commented on it yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
That one possibility is to change the fee from $25 to $30.50. Now that's not a whole lot, but that's just one of them.
Yeah.
The other one is to eliminate the annual fee,
$100 fee,
the $100 fee, and put a limit on the number of 5-day passes or permits that you can buy at 6.
At 6,
which would give roughly half the season.
Yeah, but that's also when you think, and I'm sure most of these people, and this is a topic we didn't plan, but since we can't get to the bird guy this morning on Global Big Day, but I'm glad Frank came in to add this because I was going to bring it up if he called in or what it might. Most of those people, I'm assuming, would buy the $100 one rather than the 5-day. I mean, most people, because they're going a lot. So don't you feel like that? So
well, sure, especially if you're a weekend hunter.
Yeah, and that doesn't take a lot of math to figure up 8,200 people. If 80% of them bought the $100, that's a lot of money. But at the same time, I know a lot of guys in Memphis that hunt the WMAs, and and that's squeezing out other people. So it's a real. This has been building up. This is kind of like guys are getting ready to explode. I've heard talk about this for 10 years, from the locals. So
what they haven't done.
So what's your comment, Frank? That you
my comment was that I didn't think they'd given out enough information from a data standpoint. I'll use Coach Fizdale's line. Take that for data.
Okay.
And I should have done that in my comment. I didn't do it.
Yeah, you should.
But anyway, what we don't know is how many of those folks are actually going out to any one WMA versus the resident population, and so are they really? Is it that much competition going on, or did a couple of more vocal resident hunters get the ear of somebody within the commission and say, hey, this is a big problem. This is what we need to do. And Gene knows that. And Mary, you know that too.
Yeah. Dave, that doesn't happen,
no
does
comment.
it? No comment from Dave.
No
right.
comment.
You get a few more vocal people, and that's what. That's what I
deer.
told.
Let's talk about antlerless deer here. About the size of antlerless deer in Tennessee. So no comments over there.
So that's what I told him when I commented and took the survey.
Yeah.
That's what I said that they didn't really give enough data out there, information to make what I thought would be an intelligent choice on what they're wanting to do. Now, I don't hunt the WMAs.
No, you don't, and we don't. So
I have thought about hunting the WMAs in early season.
Yeah,
because sometimes we don't have water.
That's right.
And they always have water.
Yeah,
but I don't.
But you don't have to buy the non-resident.
Well, I have. I recognize that duck hunting brings a lot of revenue to the state of Arkansas.
It does. Yes, it does.
And the folks at Stuttgart understand that non-resident people
spend money.
Is a lot. It's a lot of money, and so before we do something to make it a disincentive for them to come over, let's look at it and say, is it really a problem?
Yeah.
And I always remember I talked to one of the state biologists about 10 or 15 years ago when they were talking about changing regulations regarding captured reared mallards. In other words, for dog training.
Yeah.
And they said, Frank, without a doubt, whenever we go and we make some type of change in regulations, something that we don't really think much about, we always find that there's another constituency out there that we didn't know existed.
Dave Gabbard's shaking his head over there. I hear it, and everything. But I'm so glad that
I have a question. Since I don't hunt Arkansas,
and maybe some of you listeners out there, 274-7979.
In Tennessee, we have certain management areas where they draw for blind sites. How do they do it in Arkansas? Do they have blind sites? Or is it just gumbooting? You just
no. They quit doing blinds a long time ago.
Yeah,
and it just because of the competition it's a big problem. And they have start dates when they're allowed to launch boats.
Okay,
and start times, and it's I've seen pictures and videos of my friends that have gone out there and done it, and it looks like a bass tournament. And it looks like a bass tournament in the morning.
It's amazing. And again, we got Frank Barton in the studio. And I will say that we got a couple of minutes left, and then we'll try to hook up again with the Birdman over there. But Frank will, and Frank may not know this, but my column in the Commercial Appeal, if it appears tomorrow, you never know, but it could appear in the middle of the week, is on Bobby Cole's new book about silent approach and about you called them what did you call them in
pot hunters?
Pot hunters, and that's what the book is about. And I've written this story for tomorrow about. It's a fascinating book. It's Bobby's 5th book. You know Bobby from Biologic at Mossy Oak, but he's also a great writer, and we had him on the show recently. Frank was with us, and it spurred my idea. So, Frank, you are quoted in the book telling what those pot hunters are about, because it brought us down to earth that this does go on. So, Frank, I want to let you know that you're in the Commercial Appeal tomorrow, if not in the paper, online. So you never know. So, pot hunters.
Read the column, folks. It's fascinating information about it, and
it is, isn't it?
And the book, it's big money. Folks don't understand that.
$40,000.
It's really big money.
So about going around and stealing treasures under the ground. That's what it's about. The book's about.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to go. Dave had
hurry.
Dave had a question. I know we got to get going. The biggest thing they've done at the WNAs is they've limited your shells per hunter to 15 shells.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. There he is. Frank Barton has popped in the studio. You're not on an Indian
Breaking news.
Breaking news. We had it on there. Let's take a break. Be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray. We'll talk a little shooting. I know Frank will like that. We'll be right back.